Hi students, I'm Una.
And I'm Scott.
I'm a PTE teacher from the UK.
I'm also a PTE teacher from the UK.
And we've been helping students pass their exams for years.
And now we're excited to help you pass your exam too.
Welcome to the Swoosh English PTE podcast.
Let's get started. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Swoosh English PTE podcast with myself and Una.
Hello.
Today we're going to go through some top tips for the listening exercise, highlight incorrect words. So what would be the number one top tip you would have for this task?
So the number one top tip is simply keep up with that listening. It might seem obvious, but don't stop. Don't get tempted to stop and verify words. Okay, so you simply use your cursor to read along as you listen. That listener isn't going to stop. They're not going to slow down for you to check if you check a different word. So make sure you simply highlight it and keep going along with the listening. Okay, if you hear something different and you think it's a different word that's been said, click it and move on.
Because students often have a tendency maybe to, and I probably would be like this myself, is to overthink it at the very end. Because of the stress of the day as well, you want to ensure you got the best marks. You might have doubt yourself and your listening ability, whether you thought that word was actually pronounced correctly or incorrectly. Maybe you think about it too grammatically as well. Oh, I'm not sure that word actually works in grammatical context.
Yeah, so maybe whenever they're listening, to the recording and they highlight a word and they think it's incorrect and then they try and say it to themselves perhaps to see, oh, was that definitely incorrect? While how the speaker said is in their head. Don't do that, just highlight it and keep going. Because you just don't have time, you're going to get lost.
There's nothing you can do once you've heard it to overthink it. Just go with your intuition and move on.
Exactly.
Very important.
Okay, yeah, so that is one of my top tips. What do you think?
My top tip would probably be to just make sure you do plenty of active listening practice in your own time. So it doesn't have to actually be this task specific, but you can obviously listen to podcasts or academic talks or even just watch a TV show with a transcript on. Make sure you're obviously focusing on your listening and just become familiar with a variety of different accents you might hear. Why is it important to listen to different accents? Well, don't forget, different speakers will also emphasize words differently. Words will be stressed differently or maybe be pronounced differently. So you may obviously come across a word that you think might not be the same, but you want to make sure that it is with your own listening practice. Get used to a variety of different speaking speeds, sentence stress, word stress, etc., to make sure that you are able to accurately assess this in your listening exercise on the day of the examination.
Yeah. And that leads us up into another good point. So print out different transcripts and before you even listen to the recording, go through it. Highlight the words that you think will be stressed, the words that you think will be, de-emphasized, the words that you think will be weaker or said, in a stronger way. Go through it and test yourself, and then you will be ready for the listening and when to zone in and everything. Because
you may actually come onto a certain pattern and you're able actually to emphasize words more importantly. And obviously the majority of the answers should be emphasized words. Yeah. So therefore, if you're able to emphasize them, you might be able to predict the ones that might be different.
Yeah, and it really helps your overall listening skills, definitely. Yeah, if you can listen out for the, the dropping and the rising and the falling and all of that.
Precisely. All right. Yeah. So, Una, what would be the last tip you want to discuss today?
So just make sure that your vocabulary, is up to scratch, because at the end of the day, the more vocabulary you have, the more you're going to recognize the words and the incorrect words and, have success. So it's all about building your vocabulary so that you're able to recognize the words.
How can students actually build their own vocabulary in a nice methodical way where they're seeing constant improvement?
Well, I would definitely have a vocabulary list, a book that's all for your vocabulary. And if you ever come across words in reading or listening that you don't know, take down that word and then look up the definition, look up synonyms of the word, look up ways that word can be collocated, look up the pronunciation, listen to the pronunciation. All of these things. I know that sounds like a lot of work around one word, but it will pay off. And then study those words. So don't just leave them there and never look at them again. Maybe look at them again in the evening, sleep on it, and then think about the words in the morning. Do you remember them?
Because I look at this as more of a language skill task as well. It's obviously good having a knowledge of the method of PTE, but you also need to have the relevant language skills. And given the academic nature of this, there's going to be lots of new lexis and words that you haven't come across. Therefore, it's also important for you to build it up across a range of different topics as well. It will certainly pay off for this task.
Definitely.
All right. Well, that concludes our PTE Highlight Incorrect Words podcast top tips episode. We hope you managed to find those tips useful, and please apply these moving forward with your own PTE academic preparation. We'll see you again for some more top tips here at Swoosh English.
Thanks for joining, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Are you struggling with your PTE exam preparation? Are you unsure how to get that score of 65, 79, or even 90? Let us help you get there. Please go to pte.swooshenglish.com and enter discount code PTE10 in order to receive 10% discount on any course.